Hey, pretty people, this is Mad Laughter, and I'm your host, Sean Hatfield. Today on the podcast, we have comedian Rudy Barba. Had the pleasure of working with Rudy on more than a few projects. Rudy's a good friend and a hilarious comedian. I think you're going to enjoy this episode. I'll mention right up front, the sound levels are a little bit all over the place. I'm working with 2 handheld microphones, and you would think that comedians would be able to keep the damn things in front of their face, but not always the case. So if there are any problems with the volume levels, go ahead and own up to that right up front. So I'm going to make this quick. I'm recording this on October 17th, Tuesday morning, standing out in a driveway, and the temperatures are getting a little bit chilly. So, nothing going on this week. If you enjoy this episode, do reach out to Rudy. You can find him in Rudy Barba Comedy on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can find episodes of the podcast on shoutengine.com/mad laughter, as well as iTunes and Google Play. And you can find information about myself on Facebook and twitter.com/Hatfield Standup. The sun is up and the day is crisp, so do the damn thing and do it well. Enjoy. I'm sorry, you say I mispronounced your small penis. How do you correctly pronounce your small penis?
His name is Roberto, or Little Bob, for short. Get it short. Oh, it's going to be a high-quality podcast.
Man, one of my favorite little comic strips, it was called 3-Panel Soul. It was one of these online comics updated once a week or so. And it was basically these guys that were artists in college and yada, yada. I'm going to fuck up the backstory. It doesn't matter. They would like basically do strips about their life and then weird sci-fi shit. And one of them was about this guy moving back to California with his now wife, and he's like getting ready to take off one morning, and his wife comes running out to the car. It's a little adorable comic strip. Nice. She comes running out, and she's like, "Oh my God, burrito means tiny burro," and it's just it's just her picturing in her head this like little tiny like burro with like a bunch of salsa and cream cheese on its back.
Oh, a burro.
Burro, yes.
Burro. I'm like, is that like a white neighborhood?
Yeah, is that the Bronx. Nah.
Yeah.
One of those boroughs of New York, you know.
Yeah.
How has nobody?
Oh wait, borough's bad, right?
Huh?
Borough's bad.
What?
I guess that's not like a.
No, I think it's a holdover from Dutch. It means neighborhood or something. I don't. No idea.
I don't think anything in Dutch is.
So we'll just consider this part the warm up.
Why, do you have Dutch listeners?
No.
Fuck them.
You know what? I don't know. This is probably the second time I've discussed the Dutch language on this. So, Ooh, yeah. I was talking about that whole thing where you ever like accidentally like clicked onto a Dutch video or something, and like it takes you a couple seconds to realize they're not speaking English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, these guys look perfectly white. Is the tumor back? Why can't I comprehend these guys?
Oh, that poor guy has a brain aneurysm. That's all that is. Well, clearly he's got brain trouble. Look, he's putting mayonnaise on his French fries.
Right? Yeah, Jesus.
Better mix some mustard in with that motherfucker.
Grey Poupon. Actually, you know what? The Dutch are pretty cool, man. Apparently they like Mexicans over there because of the accordions. The Dutch and the Germans and all that stuff. The polkas and all that stuff.
Right.
They fucking, like, because that's, a lot of people don't understand that from the Tejano and all that type of Spanish music.
Oh, yeah.
The fucking accordion is German, dude. A lot of German settlers settled in Texas. And then, yeah, if you're ever wondering, this is really good. If you're ever bitching about your neighbor playing Tejano music at 3 o'clock in the morning, blame the Germans. I think they're literally behind everything. Yeah, they're the ones that Ramon Ayala who? Exactly. That's right. Thank you, German settlers.
Oh man, I always found that bit of a history about the hill country up near San Antonio to be funny. Like after World War I, like these people that'd been there for like 150 years had their own dialect of German. Uh-huh. It's like, oh, we don't like the Krauts? Yeah, we're going to change the name, and you're speaking English in my house, boy.
There you go. I actually came across, there's this legendary accordion player called Flaco Jimenez.
Legendary accordion player?
Legendary, bro. This dude, him and his father technically created Tejano music. I was watching like a little documentary the other day. And then I came across another video. These dudes are from like German or you're up there in Europe and shit. And they're like, hey, how's it going? This is for Flaco. Como está, amigo? And like they just take off with the fucking accordion playing like some of the fucking craziest wapango. This is like German fucking European like Dutch people like playing some of the sickest. I'm talking about sick, bro. Like California's sick. Like, you know? Fucking wapango. And it's fucking insane, dude. And they're like, thank you, Flaco Jimenez. You've been an inspiration. I was like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, man, fucking music, international language and shit.
Dude.
I was listening to a Japanese jazz album the other night, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's just jazz album. You know what I mean?
Anything special? You know, because every culture adds like their own little flavor to it.
Yeah, not really, man. That's what I'm saying. It was just like a straight like jazz album. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's technically proficient. Like clearly a student of the craft and whatnot. There's that one chick from I want to say it's Korea where she's playing like the 7-foot like guitar. It's like a slash between a piano, guitar, the big wooden fucker, and she's doing like covers of like David Bowie. And,
Yeah. I think I ran across that video.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean, I'll watch that. Dude, trippiest thing. I saw a guy do that little where you do the you put like a little bit of water on the rim of a glass, and then you set the levels so you can like get the right pitch from it. Yeah. You ever seen the videos of motherfuckers like doing that, like busking, like just out on a street corner? Yes. It's like they're having to adjust the levels as they go, pour a little bit of water out.
While the fucking homeless guy next to him is dying of thirst.
Yeah.
Water. Hold on. Ooh.
All right, take a sip off that. Just a sip.
You threw it off. Damn it. Let's start again. And he just throws the water down the drain in front of the homeless guy.
Oh, man. Those Three Amigos, Martin Short is just pouring the water over himself.
Oh, yeah. Thirsty.
Oh, man. It was a hard thing to admit when I realized Steve Martin is no longer funny.
Right?
Don't get me wrong. I still appreciate him as a caricature of I don't know. It's just he says things now, and it's like the man just like abandoned funny.
Yeah. I mean, you get to a point where you just grow out of your persona per se, or your caricature of like your previous. Like Dave Chappelle left that shit behind.
Oh yeah, man. It's hard to watch him in interviews now, man. Like to like get like I think there's maybe like a 30-second clip of him doing one of the talk shows, and it's just like he's funny for a minute, and then he just goes back to that straight like dour face.
Yeah, like the fucking Dave Chappelle that we know and love from back in the days, like in there trying to like escape, and he gets like a minute every so often and just come out and joke. Like, did you see him? We saw the Def Jam.
Yeah, I sat and watched that with you, man. Where he's fucking around with. It's like, no, fuck it, fuck the teleprompter. Let's just go off for a second here.
But you see how he originally wanted to come out, just like dark glasses, coat, and his eye. Def Jam has been around, blah blah blah, and then you just see him go wacky into his like comfortability of like just joking around. It was hilarious, man.
Yeah. In fact, they left it in, man, because I mean, it's
hell yeah.
Yeah.
I have not seen any other clips from that.
They don't come off
movie.
Edited with the. Oh, you mean like somebody actually putting
like
the clip
sharing
out.
It going viral or anything? That's the only clip from the actual Def Jam that like made it out. And you even have the memoriam for Bernie Mac. That could have been a nice little viral thing.
Yeah, I think they kind of buried the lead by just. Well, I get it. They wanted to bring out the kings of comedy and have Hughley and Cedric the Entertainer and what's the mustachioed man's name? I can never remember. Steve Harvey.
I don't know if you caught this, but Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah,
he was like, if you want to be Def Comedy Jam, you could have been Def Comedy Jam, just as long as you speak English. Now, do you think that was shots fired towards George Lopez? Because they've been on tour for a couple. They've just been kings of comedy. No race or anything like that.
Yeah. Do I think it's shots fired at George Lopez? I don't know. I don't know specifically.
Was there any Hispanic? I don't think. It was just black and like 3 white guys. They made it onto the actual Def Jam.
Yeah, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, like I'm trying to remember if were there any Hispanic comedians on Def Jam?
No, they were on Que Locos. That's right. Que Locos running around about the same time.
Right.
That was in Cali. You got Def Jam going on in New York. Cali's got Que Locos or was it?
Yeah,
Locos Comedy Tour.
Fuck, what's his name? comedian whose name I'll remember after we stop recording this. It doesn't matter. None of these shows are still on. Where was I going with this? Sorry, man. I had a little bit of the vapor pen before I came in.
So did I. That is no excuse, sir.
Shit, man. So how's the shirt sales going?
2 people are happy with it. It's going good. I need it's a fucking rough draft at this point. You know what I mean? This is the first series of that. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna alter it and do something with it. Maybe change some of because in the front of obviously you got the Nutella with the sticker going or the tape going across. It says lube written on it.
Yeah.
And the back you got the sexually transmitted diabetes. Now originally I think there was like a mix up at the shirt place. I wanted to see how they would look individually.
Okay.
Right? And this guy ended up putting it in the back, the sexually transmitted diabetes. Originally, it was just going to be like the Nutella
single
thing.
logo on the front. Right on.
Yeah. I don't know. But I think it does give it a little bit more insight with having the logo in the back. Well, not the logo and the sexually transmitted diabetes in the back of the shirt. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it might alter the reaction depending on which side you see first.
Exactly. See, that's what's fun about it. Somebody's walking behind you and they see like sexually transmitted diabetes. What the fuck? And they're gonna be like, "What's going on? Like, what's the rest of this shirt?" You know. And then they turn you around and fuck yeah, man, you're using Nutella's loop.
Right on. You already started.
Yummy.
You know, it would only be for the hardcore fans, but if you just had one with like the rose with the Nutella on the end of the stem, just like
that'd be
there.
fucking beautiful.
Just gently lying there.
Yeah.
Maybe with a bit of glitter.
Print shame on the shirt? I don't know. It's like, do you want me to write shame? No. Just like, like somebody sees this, they automatically know to feel shame.
Oh, yeah. That's, crap. Can't even remember the name. Hardy. Ed Hardy.
Oh. That's regret. That's not shame. That's just regret, my friend, easily.
I will admit I had some of the light up cigarette lighters, the ones that would do like.
Oh yeah, the ones that would like stop working like 20 minutes.
Oh yeah. Well, no, actually, I had one. The lighters stopped working, but the laser show kept going. For
really?
A long while. Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I did. I went to go refill mine and it just busted. They would lie to you, give you false hope. I could refill this and use it forever. Fuck no, you can't. Like.
And we forgot to mention the pressure of the butane actually entering the lighter self-destructs it. So
there you go. What happened to that? Do they still do that shit? Butane refillable lighters at the corner store?
Yeah, you got to go to the good ones.
Yeah.
The problem is all the refillable ones also have the damn electronic lighter. It's like, we're going to fuck you one way or the other. You can choose how we fuck you.
I remember going to like an actual cigar discount store. They got tobacco and all that shit in there. Not a smoke shop, like a legit cigarette store.
Yeah.
And I bought this like really expensive lighter. And it was so cool. It was just like it fit in your hand perfectly, and you didn't even have to like twitch your thumb that much to light it. And you get the torch, right?
Right on.
And it didn't want to work. It worked when I initially filled it up and walked out. It was, badass. I was like, yeah. And then like I tried refilling it. I was like, I wasted money on that. And I was like, fucking. I filled it up, and I didn't want any more butane could fit in there. So I was like, fucking, it didn't want to work. It was too cold. I had to let it fucking warm down.
Yeah.
Instructions, lighter company.
I realized I bought about like 3 or 4 Zippos in a row and just realized I am too lazy to maintain. And it's not that hard to maintain. Yeah. It's just, I'm bad at it.
I don't think I've ever swapped the cotton out.
Yeah. Change the wick, change out the cotton. Then you got to put in the little flint stick and whatnot. I'm trying to remember who the fuck. I was at some bar and the bartender started breaking down. It's like, oh yeah, I always steal my brother's Bic lighters and I just get the little flint out of there and put it in my Zippo. And it's like, dude, you're holding my cigarette lighter right now. Can you please stop talking about this? I'd like that back, please. When the bartender gets...
I think of this at one point. It's like, I'm going to describe to I'm going to do your lighter later on. Actually, I'm not going to lie, bro. I've stolen other people's. Like, there was a time where, like, all our buddies, like, we all got fucking Zippos, and we're all like, cool, gentlemen, clink, 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 And one of them would disregard it, and my fucking flint was out. So I'd go in there and change it out. I did it, like, twice, and he stopped buying Zippos. Because, like, oh, man, it don't work.
These flints don't last for shit, man.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
Cigarette lighter, the one thing. Like, I still carry one. Stop smoking. Still carry a cigarette lighter. Just on the off chance.
He's a pothead.
Yes.
Some of the most trustworthy lighter holders I've ever met in my life never smoke cigarettes in their lives.
Of course, they never have to actually use it.
Exactly.
It's like responsible gun owners. It never comes out of the holster.
No. They use it, buddy, but it's not for cigarettes. Like, if I need a lighter, I know where to go to.
Yeah.
The guy with the Jamaican shirt.
See, I always used to joke, cigarette smokers know where their lighter is. Potheads are the ones that need them. Just walking around going, does anyone have a lighter, man?
Say that again? The cigarette smokers one?
Cigarette smokers are the ones that usually have the lighter.
No, know where their light is. Like,
they know where their light is. Are you trying to set me up for a line? What is this?
Yes, I'm going to.
Cigarette
smokers usually know where their lighter is.
Yes.
The answer is in somebody else's pocket. I've gone home since I don't smoke any cigarettes anymore, but back in the day, I would get home with like 3 lighters and not even notice that I fucking pocketed them. And it's weird. None of them would be the original lighter that I got to that place with. So somebody else pocketed my original lighter.
Oh, yeah, that happens. You play musical lighters all night.
Oh, yeah.
It's usually on the heavy drinking occasions.
Did you ever find like a bic, like something you go to you get at a corner store? Did you ever find a lighter that you really liked and like fucking, never lost it? Or try it, not to lose it?
Yeah, pretty much, man. I mean, occasionally you come across
this is my
one.
favorite lighter.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's usually the ones that you acquire through,
What did it have? Like, what did it have a design on it? Just regular bic? Or?
Yeah. One of those little wraparound things has somebody's logo on there, and it just like a cool little design. Where are you going with this?
Oh, I have one that had a piggy on it.
Just a piggy?
Yeah, I had a pig, but it was separated, like in the meats, like where to cut the parts of the pig.
Nice.
And this is Piggly Wiggly. That was my lighter. I still have them. It doesn't work anymore, but I still have it.
I'll tell you one of the dumbest things that, I think somebody gave it to me as a gag gift, but a lighter sheath. Like, it's basically, and the only ones you can fit in there are those original rounded Bic ones.
Yeah.
It's just a little rubber sheath with a design on it. And it's like, why would you, does anybody even buy, beer koozies anymore?
Yeah, but they're Yeti. I get a fucking koozie at a show or something that says Bud Light or it's just something on it. Yeah. I'm like, ugh, what do I want this for? It's just going to be cluttered.
Yes, I will never use this.
I don't think I've ever used a koozie in my life.
I have. I remember.
I have a shit ton of koozies, but I've never used any of them. I use it for padding on my butt when I go to sporting events so the bench won't hurt. I just put them in my back pockets.
Oh, man.
Take that, old lady with the seat. The styrofoam seat.
The other day I was trying to think of ways to do minimalist fucking so I don't want to have couches anymore. I'm tired. I've moved enough couches in my life that I'm just yeah, fuck that. I'm actively opposed to the idea of couches at this point. And I was trying to think maybe those little stadium seats that you get. Then I realized those would be entirely too
small.
It would keep people from coming over to your house.
Let's go to Shots. Nah, man. He's got tiny stadium seats. Fuck that. Let's go to Rudy's. He's got couches. I'm worried because these couches seem to swallow shit. And, you never know, when it happens. Shit goes missing. I've been missing a watch for about a month and a half now.
You're afraid to stick your hand into the crevices?
Oh, dude, I'm scared. You're going to get, cuts on your fucking hand from, old Doritos. I think the couches accumulates that and starts growing teeth. And, just shards of Doritos and fucking Funyuns and shit just come out with cat scratches all over your fucking arm.
Can't tell if it's Cheeto dust or rusty metal.
There you go. Should be writing this shit down. Thank God we're recording it. Oh, it's not, if only we were recording this.
Any cosmic truths come to you recently?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's what.
Yeah. I just walk around every single day of my life waiting for somebody to ask me that question. Thank you, Sean. I'm gonna get deep on this shit.
Right on.
This is the only part in life where I can actually get deep. Hashtag small penis.
Okay.
Hey, you've been seeing Jim Carrey, right? He's been all over the interweb.
I don't know
where
where
when people say interweb instead of just the internet.
The internets, yes.
It's so weird. I'm going to refer to it from the interweb. I want people to feel my uncomfortableness.
The interweb sounds like something some hippie with crystals on is
Exactly.
You know, your inner web.
Your inner web, your chakras misalign. You gotta align your inner web.
Your spiritual spider sits at the center, waiting for all vibrations.
What a wicked inner web we weave. Hashtag Facebook drama.
Yeah. I don't know how the whole thing with Jim Carrey started.
Have you talked about this in one of the previous?
No, not at all. Okay. But yeah, I've seen a couple of the clips where with him where whoever he was being like, there's one where somebody asks him a question and the guy sitting next to him just slowly, as he's talking, the guy's just kind of leaning back away from him. But yeah, Jim Carrey's always been a little bit out on the limb, man. Specifically, where were you going? Like what?
Oh no, I've been thinking about. I've always thought about shit like that. And like this society that we live in, that we've been accustomed to. Like shit wasn't like this, you know, from where we started originally. You know, we were fucking farmers. We would live and all these like comedies. Am I saying this right? Accommodations or fucking. We're spoiled as fuck. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it made us like sloth. That's one of the sins. You know what I mean? So we need something to do. So drama, right?
Right.
What is another word for drama? Theater, right?
Okay.
So how do we keep ourselves entertained in this point where we have nothing to do? We lie to ourselves daily thinking like, oh, I got to do this and I got to do that because that's what I want my life. No, fucker. Like if you were like 200 years or if you were in like the discovery of America, I doubt your goal would be the same in a different century.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
Basically because this is me just fucking ranting. I don't know if it's true or not. But we've created this like facade of like we stopped caring about what we actually have to care about and built this like sheet over our heads to like micro deal with shit, like micro achievements. You know, it's like I'm gonna take the trash out today. Yay, I succeeded, you know? And I think this entire thing just started off, follow me on this one, it started off with a giant game of pretend, like a little too far, right? Started off with little fucking kids like, I want to be a businessman, you know? I'm selling this imaginary donut. Like, I want to buy that imaginary donut. Oh, I'm sorry, you don't have enough imaginary money to buy this imaginary donut. I'm like, what do I got to do? You got to get a job. I'm like, all right. And it's like, wait, I don't have to work if I can steal that guy's imaginary money, right? And that's where you get lawyers. People pretend they're imagining they're fucking lawyers, right? So this is just a giant game of imaginary that pretend that got out of hand and actually made it from imaginary to physical world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm
like
right
that
behind
joke you
on
say.
that.
That is like, if you guys are gonna be making up rules, I'm just gonna play another game, right?
Yeah. To be fair, I don't know if you've seen the subheading for the logo on this podcast is discussions in pantheistic solipsism and the cosmic joke.
That's a lot of big questions, the words there.
Basically, just a nice way of saying you're both the character and the author at the same time.
Ooh.
It's like every character in your story is also an author of their own story, and you're a character in their story. And basically, it's like that M.C. Escher picture where it's the two hands drawing each other. But well, dig on this, man, because I mean I think that's important to kind of like let people need to be aware of that.
I didn't. I think it's
there's
tied
more.
in with Jim Carrey. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
So basically, that's what Jim Carrey like fucking finally popped through his head, and like this shit doesn't really matter. You do know that, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what caught me like right away when he fucking appeared at that. What it was like a fashion show or fashion celebration.
I haven't seen that one.
You haven't seen that one? This is like they're doing like a red carpet, and he just walks on because he's fucking Jim Carrey, you know? It's like, oh my god, it's Jim Carrey. Mr. Carrey, can I have some interview? And he's just like really weird right off the bat. And it's like, so what brings you out tonight? And he's like, oh, I just got, I just wanted to come out to the thing that matters the least. I was thinking to myself, like, where can I go tonight to like maybe the thing that matters the least in life? I was like, a fashion show. It's like, so this guy, like, I'm thinking, it's like, this guy pondered about that shit. Like, I want to know what this, like, should I go to a movie premiere? No. The Grammys? No. Yeah, fucking fashion shows all the way at the bottom of his fucking list. I could do heroin. Heroin is probably right above in fashion show.
No, a little too chic. Yeah, let's go to the thing where people are playing dress up.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
No, I don't know, man. That guy's put himself through a bit of a weird place, but I mean, that's probably as far out as that guy gets with his character work. Like, there seems to be a psychology behind what he's doing every time he's doing one of these like just out there stuff. All right, you've seen the movie Man in the Moon, right? Where he's playing Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
That bit at the end where he starts laughing when he realizes that the guy is like a fake. You know, he's fucking with him. Like there's a genuineness to that scene that I think kind of comes through because of yeah, man, the guy seems to have been on that track of thought for a while now.
Oh yeah,
the absurdism and the taking it just
well, like you said, the heading of this is like your character you're a character in your character's life.
Yeah
right? Like I think all comics go through that, like that thought, like because we don't think rationally. Like the way I think or you think is not the same way a regular person that doesn't do comedy think, because we like to see the structure of what we're talking about, dismantle it and see what's on the guts on the inside, what makes this topic, and like I can make this, I can make fun of this, and we start fucking crossing things, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
aligning things, and like a regular person just sees a fucking turtle.
Oh, I've thought about that a lot, where it's just something occurs, just some micro transaction occurs, like in a grocery store or something, and the associations that just start popping into mind are just, and if you turn to the person next to you and tried to explain any of this, it would just sound like complete gibberish.
Exactly.
And they'd probably question your sanity.
Oh yeah. I think that's why a lot of comics are so like, in real life, they're introverts. It's like, if I open my mouth, I will end up in an asylum.
Oh, that's a weird one, man. Especially with as many people as where comedy seems to be a defense mechanism, and then the more you explore it, the mind gets on that track, and it's like, oh shit, I can't say this shit out loud. Dug a whole new hole for me now.
I regret nothing. I think sooner or later all comics just start losing touch with reality, because reality does not exist. I think that's what Jim Carrey's leading to. Because think about it.
That's where I kind of I do differ, man. All right, reality does not exist in the sense of, or I would go as far as to say reality might not exist any farther than your own fingertips, your own eyeballs. And that's just because you're receiving data from them. You know what I mean? If you happen to look up in the sky one night and see some sort of solar flare and, that was 1 billion years ago. Okay, the only reason you're receiving that is because whatever happened there got to your sensory tool, right? So all of this could just be computer signals while your brain's floating in a vat. Your brain may be some virtual simulation on a hard drive somewhere. All of that doesn't matter. That may be reality, but what matters is what you're actually observing, which is where you get into the idea of, say, like reality tunnels. All right, all that we can say is true between the two of us is what we can bang on, right? Whatever we're both able to observe, what's the word?
Physically put our hands on it, physically touch it.
Well, not just that. If we had a microscope here and we were both staring at the same little speck of, whatever. Plasma or something, and we were both able to go, that's what that is.
Reminds me, I gotta hit up the center tomorrow. All right, go on.
Gotta hit up what?
The center, the plasma center.
Oh,
Pills gotta be paid. Sorry, bills, not pills. It's getting a little hot in here.
That's the secondary measure. Yes.
Subconscious. AF.
Oh,
Freudians, where y'all at? Where my Freudians at?
Oh, and I have to abandon this podcast because too many secrets have been revealed. That's the next one. Subconscious AF.
Yeah. Fuck.
All right. The part where I'm saying I do disagree about like reality not being real is there's no. All right, true solipsism is the belief that the only thing that's real is inside your own head, right? Whereas the idea of like, say, pantheistic solipsism. Now I'm trying to justify my own subtitle here. is that if you observe another conscious body, it may be a hallucination of your mind. One of us might not be real in this conversation, and the train goes through.
This midnight train is a little off.
Now, here's the question. Which one of us imagined the train?
That was me. I was on Pornhub earlier. Wrong train.
But yeah, basically the idea that any conscious mind... Jesus.
You got the train joke a little late there, buddy.
But now I'm just waiting for it to fade.
This is the Choco Express, bro. Ain't no party like a Mandingo party. It's a Mandingo party. Don't stop. Okay. Go on to what we were saying.
Oh, yeah. I think at a certain point, treating the game like it's just something that you made up and you're the only player engaged in, that way lies madness. You know what I mean? Whereas if you treat every player as if they are a distinct and, all right, if this is all a simulation, we are all the same electrical energy flowing through different patterns, right? So if you treat every individual pattern as if it is yourself experiencing life from a different, now I'm just ripping off Bill Hicks's joke. Yeah, man, we're all just the same thing coming at it from a different perspective. You know what I mean? So I think there is a bit of, that's where, like you're talking about, like this sheet that we've kind of thrown over ourselves. I think it's a little more productive to look at it as if it's a game that was, think about like when you're playing an online shooter and, you know, you get shot and then you reappear in a different part of the map. Same thing as you came into the game and, I popped out in 1985 and the game was already in progress. The pieces were already moving. And it's real. I think at some point you just kind of go, oh, it's all fucking an illusion. All these things are a lie. You realize, no, they're just parts of a bigger game that you can't quite see yet. Like the game's been going on long enough at this point. This is where like the conspiracy theories get real fucking interesting. And where it also kind of breaks down because the game isn't finished. It's not a perfect working mechanism. You know what I mean? And pieces of it die off all the time. We're not still, there are parts of the world where they're still pulling plows behind oxes, but for the most part,
6-pack DLCs. I'm saying, dude, if I can fucking just download a 6-pack, not a beer, like literally, like
no, I got what you meant. Yeah,
upgrade my body.
Can I trade in the keg?
Yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying, man. Is the game is actually fucking being given the biological system and then going, okay, now figure it out.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Because the current working model of what reality is, what all matter is just a fluctuation in like some underlying electromagnetic current is where my brain's going, but that's not the right word. It's basically whatever field we exist in, we're just a little hiccup in that. And that tangled mess of vibrations is what has created everything that we're looking at. So if it's lasted this long, then there are certain things that can be taken for granted. Electricity will flow, gravity will pull your ass down, and somewhere out there is a whole shitload of dark matter that we haven't quite figured out yet. But if given those principles...
Racist. Why is it gotta be dark?
Because you can't see it. Again, I was hitting the pin before this, so I may have gone off on a tangent. What I'm saying is, man, like, if you treat the game as if it's something that is obvious, like, it's, you get a little high and you go, oh, man, like, why is life? And it's like, no, that you're coming at it from the wrong angle. Life is life. So then work from it from there, man. It's like, okay, why is this happening? No, this is happening. So then what? You know what I mean? It's a little more productive.
We're still asking a question, something that's already been solved.
Yeah, like you can dive into your own navel and kind of go, my brain is the perfect model of all of existence. And it is, sure, but that way lies nothing, that's one of the reasons where I kind of split off from Buddhist doctrine, where it's like, all suffering life is suffering. Okay, so get the fuck on with it. You know what I mean? And there are schools that go into some shit like that, but a lot of it is trying to seek Satori and Nirvana, and it's like, okay, you gain peace, and then what? You gonna sit in a monastery fucking praying all day? That's where I have worries about Mr. Carey. I think the man might just step off the cliff. Not in real life. I'm sure he seems to have a lust for whatever existence he's going through, but...
Check this out. I have a theory. Why are people so... the mask here. Why are people so happy when kids learn about imagination? Why do we imagine? Why do we make things up? Like, yeah, he's lying to himself.
We are.
He's developed the that's what it is. He's developed the ability to lie to himself. Am I saying that? Yeah.
Well, I think it's a useful lying, though, man.
Huh?
Well, we're able to envision the world without needing to physically change it. Like we can envision a map without having to rearrange the territory. Like imagine if every time you wanted to try something out, you actually had to like physically rearrange your entire environment.
The world would be complete.
It would, but you'd just have a bunch of morons moving things around. Like, cause think about it, you wouldn't even be able to
Minecraft. That was my goal, to tie in Minecraft into this podcast.
Achievement unlocked.
Nerd level 2.
And just like with online games, none of the points matter.
You do look like Drew Carey in a certain light. So you do look like Drew Carey in a certain light. And like 200 pounds lighter. Welcome to Mad Laughter, where the points are made up and the scores are made up and the points don't matter. Something like that. I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah. Philosophy's bullshit and all the drugs are potent.
There you go. That is a philosophy to live by.
I don't know nothing about that college, kids, but always test for potency. Know your LD50s.
Okay, what is that? We're going to have to go into that. What is that?
Lethal death at 50% of the population. That's basically where they take a bunch of rats and they start feeding them a substance, and when half of them die, they go,
Too much.
Don't do more than that.
We hit her point. Jesus Christ. The marijuana rats must be old as fuck right now.
I think they ended up having to like guess because there's no way you can feed a rat that much. The potency just pass out beforehand.
Yeah, that's 2.5 brownies exactly. I've looked at.
I want to say it's something like 300 pounds. You would have to physically eat 300 pounds of weed, but you can't physically eat 300 pounds of weed.
Challenge accepted.
You give it to me in brownies, man. I love chocolate.
No, I'm diabetic. I'm scared. Well, I'm not diabetic, but...
You're scared you're a diabetic.
Yeah.
That's, okay.
Yeah, I don't have health care, sir. At this point, my health is a guessing game. Like, does he have it? I don't know. Let's find out. No. You ever had like something like physically wrong with you and you're like, oh, go away?
Of course I have.
I've had pains that just like come out of nowhere in weird places. And I'm like, might have it, but what I don't have is the money to go.
Look, at this point, it's a 50-50 either way, whether I'm a hypochondriac or I've become really good at self-diagnosing and treating my own disabilities.
Oh, man. I have this sharp pain I get sometimes. Not in my heart. It's in the... Don't worry.
Left ventricle. Yeah.
No, it's in my my belly area. But I just know I'm just way too fat. I already have my gallbladder removed. So.
Oh man, I have managed to avoid all major surgery, and
at this point I'll take if they make like a not a virtual reality but a legit operation game. Let's give this med student something to do.
I want to say it was Antarctica where one of the guys got stuck. They couldn't get a plane in, so he had to take out his own appendix.
Damn.
Now that I say that, I don't know if that's true, but I'm going to keep believing it. Doesn't matter. Point is, I wouldn't...
I don't think you could turn that... Oh, yeah, you can. I think you would bleed out, wouldn't you?
Possibly, right? I don't know. Put a little methamphetamine in with the blood circulation. It's like, see which... Blood loss or stimulants.
Come on, stimulants.
Oh.
Yeah. Ralphie May died. R.I.P. Ralphie. He was a heavy hitter, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Interesting guy, man. He's one of those guys that seem to, I don't know, soften well. Like
Is that a fat joke?
No, sir, that was not a fat joke. Well, actually, the man was losing weight later in life. From
he?
what I gather, I kind of had to. He had some sort of
heart attack, stroke.
heart attack, something like that, earlier on a couple years ago, and then from there had health problems the whole time. So it definitely not one of those people where you're like, he was so young and vibrant. It was no.
Like I heard, it's like Ralphie May is dead, and like yeah, sounds about right. Not in a bad way. Like I wasn't shocked when I like Tupac died, Ralphie May died. Like
yeah.
Like I'm big, man. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I've fucking gained chingos of fucking pounds. For the white people, that's a lot of pounds. Chingos is a lot. But I don't know who's gonna be tuning in. I have to be able to translate. But yeah, dude, I'm out of shape, man, and I need to start getting in shape. I'm slowly seeing myself deteriorate. Like, and I'm 20. I'm about to be 27, man. I'm gonna be 27 next month in November.
That's the time, man.
Yeah, I think after 25, you're fucked.
No, man. To be honest, man, I didn't start really getting into my own health until I was probably about 27, 28, man.
Yeah, I need to do that shit. Like, even hit the gym, dude. Like,
I keep telling myself I'm going to do that, but then, I remember how much I hate gyms.
Maybe we should do an open mic and one of those spin classes.
You got to work the elliptical and keep pace at the same time.
Mm-hmm. I'll definitely help with your timing.
Not only did I slam, but my ass looks great.
That was your mic. I'm sorry as fuck. Dude, that would be a really good idea. But then we have, like, some of the people, I was like, do you want to try stand up? And he's like, if I can just finish a Whataburger in the parking lot. We'll allow smoking just so you can feel comfortable.
Yeah.
No bands.
No bands. Stairway denied, bro. Yeah, man. Maintaining the lifestyle and maintaining life, period. Bit difficult.
Yeah, especially when you're on the road. Jesus, I let myself go on the road.
Funny enough, man, I'm usually a little bit more disciplined, but I think it's maybe just having like a focus, like doing something.
Yeah.
Like if you're just like going, like doing the daily grind, like, waking up, maybe you got like an open mic or something that night. There's not really it's not like, I don't know, man, maintaining a sense of self-focus. It's
just say you were broke. I could have.
Nah, man, I think it's maybe like when you're not actively doing something, like, I know it sounds kind of, you got to give yourself some leeway. There has to be those moments of just kind of like, I'm not doing anything right now. Like I've made the choice not to do anything right now.
Those are the best times.
Yeah, man, but being aware of those, not kind of going like, I'm going to take one of those moments right now and just kind of letting yourself sit in the, I don't know, like that, like coming home, like after like having done something, like, the sense of accomplishment, that doesn't really follow you through the front door. Like, it's like as soon as you're just like back to like square one. And I think maybe part of the drive that would make you go out and want to make other strange people laugh is also a sense that you can't, idle hands, devil's plaything,
exactly.
That kind of, just the mind wants to do something.
Where do you think you would
stimulus?
Where would you see yourself if you didn't start doing comedy? Like, where would you be at right now?
I think I would be a less productive person.
Yeah.
But it would be, I don't know, man. That's a good question. Weird enough, man, I was having this conversation with a friend of mine, and I am actually healthier now as a, staying up all night and kind of like just writing down weird thoughts in my head than I ever was as somebody who had a day job. Like, I was a horrible, like, drunk when I had a day job. Like,
There's a man that carries a flask around. He's like, I'm still a drunk. I'm not a horrible drunk.
Yeah, no, come on now. We've had drinks. I've gotten ridiculous at times, and I think that's something that's an ongoing.
I think you're at 2 or 3 that I've been there.
And only one of those do I remember.
See, man, I think that's what helps out. Like, a lot of people because I studied psychology, and one of the tips like they got me is like write things down. Like if you're going through something, get a diary or journal or whatever, and just write stuff down. And I think that's what helps us a lot from being comics, that we do write things down, but we don't acknowledge it as a diary. It's like, you know what I mean?
There's a structured outlet for the weird wanderings of the mind.
Yeah, we don't write down like daily stuff. Maybe daily stuff it was a joke. But like if you see my notepad or you see your notepad, like some regular person reads our notes, they'll be like, "What the fuck is this?" You know, like, yeah, you guys should. It's like, no, you don't understand. The anal comes after the baptism. You know, like.
Oh yeah. There's an entire sheet on my cell phone right now on the notes page that I took with the voice to text, and there's no punctuation. It's just a stream of thought that.
Does yours like actually with the voice to text? Does that write it down?
Auto punctuation?
No, does it write it down like what you say, or does it like pick up different words like what you meant to say?
Sometimes it will. Like it's not perfect.
Yeah,
I'd say it's maybe 80%.
I guess because of my accent. There's some weird stuff that comes out.
Yeah, no, I've tried to use it drunk a few times and just gotten nowhere. I don't know. I think it's an outlet. I think if more of the comics that like we know personally, I think if more of them were more disciplined. I know this about myself. If I was more disciplined about actually writing, because I do find that most times when I do write stuff down, it's either something that like I know I'm gonna forget, or it's some like I'm kind of telling myself, right, fucker, right. You know what I mean? Like it's a need to do so. Whereas, like you were saying, it is an outlet. So I think if there was a more disciplined approach to it for most people, maybe not others, it would almost lead to a lessening of the the hedonistic outbursts that kind of come sometimes. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, man, I think being the type of mind that is constantly building a narrative structure and looking for just the ridiculousness of existence, it's so easy to just sit in a moment and just go, fuck it. And just have no ambition to step outside of that. It's like, I'm gonna fucking, watch, 5 hours of Netflix and, look up stupid shit online.
Sounds like my Saturday night.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that if you're making that choice to do it. But I think
yeah, you find yourself in that slum. And you're just like, that's all you do. And it's not by choice. You just like, you just plop yourself on the couch and you just do that shit.
Yeah.
You get stuck there. And like, the fuck was I going to say? Jesus Christ, this weed was good.
That kind of pisses me off with comics that don't show up for shows. Because if the one thing where it's like, dude, you've been handed a time that you're going to show up.
Exactly.
And you're going to do a thing. Like,
and then they're bitching later on they can't get on one.
Yeah. And it's like at that point, dude, you're not even if you're going to be, fine, be a comedian, you know what I mean? Do whatever you want to fucking,
If you can't do the spot, say you can't do the spot. You know what I mean? At least ahead in time. Be at least courteous, because we're not just all random comics. We're peers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we're all gonna go through the same situation. That's whatever's coming up, and I'm gonna say, yeah, be courteous to the other peers, man. It's not a competition. It's not a race. It's a journey. And we're all part of this journey, the comedy journey. You know what I mean? It's like one thing that John Stringer, check him out. Check out John Stringer for sure. He's a good mentor, man. He's given me a lot of points. And one of them was like, don't compete with another comedian. Compete with the last time you're on stage.
That seems to be a very useful way to go about the whole thing.
Yeah. But I've been slacking, dude. I'm not going to lie. You slacked, I've slacked. Like, I don't really write down the joke and like, dissect it and see where it can go better. The majority of the time, like, oh, that's funny. Let me try it tonight at the open mic, right? And I say it doesn't stick. And there might have been something there, but I was too lazy to actually work on it.
That's always, it's a subtle joy and a self-disappointment when you go back and look at a piece of material and all of a sudden you actually start doing the work on it and you go, fuck, I could have done this like a month ago. and had something good. Really, at this point, you know, you go, fuck, well, I'm a month behind on where I should have been with this piece of material. I mean, you get to it eventually, hopefully, if you're doing at least some of the work.
Like, I'm really horrible at putting pen to pad, dude. Like pen to paper, I'm really horrible at actually writing shit down. But like, I love having conversations with people, and then like something comes up, like, oh, I have a joke about that, and I talk about it, and then like bouncing it back and forth. I've come up with a majority of my taglines like that, dude, in conversation instead of actually writing it down, because I find it like stressful. Like get your pen and your paper, and then you have a goal of making a tag. You know what I mean? And it's you're stressing a lot on that. Like, oh, I need to make a tag, or I need to make a punchline, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. And you're stressing too much on the actual, like, I need to do it than the actual material that you have on your hand. Like when you're just having fun with a conversation, like, oh yeah, blah blah, and then like get that thought that pops in your head, like, oh dude, that's hilarious. Like that the brown lights joke that's illegal. Yeah. I was having a conversation with Mario on the way back from Corpus about that. I was like, hey, what you think about this and the brown lights, and you know, I had this, and it's like, dude, like throw a brown light thing in there, and like, oh yeah, a brown light. Oh shit, what can I do? And then we were just going through like, okay, brown light, the Mexicans, it's got a sombrero, or it's got this, or, you know, it's got to be home before this one, before, you know. And then we're throwing like a bunch of jokes, and I was like, wait, it's simple, like illegal to have these brown lights. It's illegal because it hits for both sides, and like some lights are literally illegal, like the HIDs, that certain light. And then, of course, brown, Mexican, illegals, you know what I mean? So it tied up the joke perfectly. I've been working on that joke since the beginning. So I got that joke is about 2.5 years old. Yeah. And I think I just put that bow on that son of a bitch, and that's like a really good joke tied together. Actually, you were the best open mic that I felt comfortable with, or just like, I don't know, just felt really good at, was the one that would have the Smoking Aces, or Aces North. Yeah. That one was one of the best ones. It was like kind of like a grungiest location. You know, you got like a Monday night mix of drunks with biker gangs and cholos. You know, like,
but not like the aggressive ones, just the ones that were kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
that was the prevailing mood.
Yeah, it's Monday. Yeah.
That was one of those places where you genuinely felt like you'd interrupted somebody's, like, it's like, I'm here trying to sleep on this bar. Why do you have to make noise?
But I loved it because it was a challenge, man. If you, because bikers and fucking cholos and all that shit, and the grungiest drunks and all that shit, all of them laugh at something different. So being able to make all of them laugh, that was real goal of mine, you know, for the night for myself.
Also, one of the few places you could see genuine heckles.
Exactly.
There were.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I always tell this story about the drunk lady from Edinburgh. It was Mark.
Oh yeah.
Should I say it?
What? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So we're doing the open mic. This, like, think of it as like a grungy, like, rock bar. You got cholos and bikers all over the place, and like Monday night drunks. Like these are like drunk. Like if Garfield was a drunk, like these. That's who would be in here. He's like, I hate Mondays.
He would look up from his lasagna just to tell you how bad he thought your joke was. That's.
So we get all the comics together at the same time. So we sign up, and the guy's like, all right, I'm going to put you guys up from the bands or whatever together. I'm going to put you guys in a block. So it was like 3-4 comics. And then you got Mark going up, one of the local comics at the time. Now he's what's it? Like Mark Benya. Yeah. Mark Benya. He's in Austin right now. But I remember this night, this dude, we get like probably like 5 to 7 minutes on this stage. And this lady starts heckling Mark right off the fucking bat, right? And then he takes like 2 minutes to get into his first joke. Like, that's already almost half the time. And then his first joke is about Edinburgh, Texas. And then the lady goes, hey, I live in Edinburgh. Don't make jokes about Edinburgh. I work in Edinburgh. And it's like, why don't you go drink in Edinburgh? That was Mark's perfect response to the heckler. And then she just shut the fuck up. And everybody's like, yeah, and starts clapping. Oh my God, for a whole bar of like fucking outlaws to hate you. Like, you like, if the Bloods and Crips were in that bar, they would have made peace to beat the crap out of this lady. And then then she shuts up and she goes, she mentioned that she worked in Edinburgh. She was a special ed teacher, right? So I already had that in my fucking toolbox. You know, I pick up a lot of shit. And she goes on, and I go on. And I'm doing my set, and she's not bothering me. And then I say, stupid fucking friend zone joke. I was like, we got anybody here in the friend zone? And I asked the crowd, and some poor bastards in the back picked up their hands. I was like, all right, man, guys, round of applause for my brothers in arms, right? And then people clapped or whatever. And then she's like, hey, don't talk bad about or whatever the fuck. And she brought up the military. And I was like, you know what? You're right, ma'am. I'm sorry. You know what? Round of applause for actual brothers in arms and, you know, fighting overseas and blah, blah, blah. I went on the thing. And, of course, we got veterans in there, the bikers or whatever. And they start clapping. I'm like, all right, cool, ma'am. And it's like, yeah. And it's like, all right. And I go back to the joke. And she's like, hey, my daddy was in the Navy. I was like, congratulations, you're a Navy brat. And then I go back into the joke, trying to stupid joke about getting out of the friend zone. It's like spelling Jehovah in, in the Indiana Jones. And it's like a lot of people. It starts with an H, right? Or I? Or
I can't remember. Maybe it was a Y.
I don't know. I'm still in the friend zone. But you know, I was trying to do this bit, and she says something again. I don't know what the fuck she said. I was like, hey, you mentioned that you were a special ed teacher, right? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, well, I guess it takes one to teach one. Everybody just like, oh, just lost her minds, dude. Her friends literally come over and grab her and sit her ass down. And it's like, shut the fuck up. And those are good hecklers, man. Like, when it's like, it's a good, like, you know,
it's a genuine interaction.
Give and take. Yeah, it's a genuine interaction. Now, when you get these hecklers who are like, you're the devil, or like, you're evil for saying this, and like try to be self-righteous about, you know, that topic, I'm like, it's a fucking joke.
No, I don't even think those are like, all right, like the heckle itself, man, is a disrespectful act, man. Uh-huh. But like, it's one thing to go like, oh, you're bad at this, and I'm going to tell you that you're bad at this. But to straight up, you get some people that don't even have respect for the form itself. Like, there's been many a time where it could have just been like, you know what, I'm going to wait till you finish this, and then I'm going to tell you something because I genuinely felt what you said was fucked up. Whether or not they're right or not who gives a shit? That's somebody else's conversation to have. But they don't even feel enough respect for the form. Or whatever, you know, stand up or even fucking, yeah, man, where they feel the need to just shout out.
A lot of people don't know stand up, man. Like, they've only heard of stand up, of course, like, you know, through fucking, you know, on TV or on the internet or whatever. A lot of people haven't gone to an actual stand up, you know, comedy show, haven't seen a stand up perform before, so they don't know what the etiquette is. You know, and some people just don't give a fuck blatantly.
Yeah.
Like, there's always gonna be that person like, yeah, and let me tell you this story about my cousin that I can relate to you, you know? Because there's that type of heckler too that tries to like be part of the show. I'm like, man, it's not.
Yeah, there's foolishness and there's damn foolishness, and I mean, you try to give benefit of the doubt. Sometimes it's fun. Yeah, it doesn't even might not even necessarily be a hostile exchange. Sometimes it's just, like you said, they just want to say something.
Yeah.
And I think part of the job is to just kind of roll with it.
Yeah, like there's been times where I'm like, ma'am, you know, when I ask her a question and she talks back, I'm like, oh, cool, you know, and you don't cut them off. You kind of like, okay, I got my information that I needed for that joke. Oh, cool, man. All right, you know, hey, let me tell you about this one, you know? And you don't give them a shit ton of time to talk because that just ruins everything.
Oh, yeah.
No. Oh, my God, dude. Some people can fucking talk. This is coming from a comic.
Oh, man. Yeah. There's sometimes you're glad the crowd is not mic'd.
Oh, beautiful.
I have the microphone. This means shut up.
See these lights? They're pointing at me, bitch.
If I ask the DJ for some volume, I can definitely talk over you.
Oh, yeah. There's a man in the back that can regulate my voice. I don't know where I was going with that. But
yeah, no. All of that stays in.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, man, we fucking went completely off fucking topic about producing the comedy shows.
Yeah, man. It is. You find a venue and you try to kind of put it forward.
I
want to
do that. I want to get like a good, solid venue. Easy, accessible, nothing too hidden. Something people have heard about, know how to get there. Good size, and have like repetitive gigs, like something like Cena has been doing it for 10 years. That's insane. If you can find a place that can do comedy for 6 months, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So like to find a good, like legit, steady venue that can do that, that's insane. Unless it's like an actual fucking comedy club.
Yeah, and then there's the whole question about, the Valley's a weird place to kind of try to do promotions, man. Like, how many people? Huh? Nobody trusts you.
You what? ¿Qué es eso? Get away. What is that? Get away. I don't trust you. Did I ever send you?
It's not a summons.
You've been served. What if we do that? Like comedy clubs, like it's like jury duty. I can't go. I gotta go to this comedy club thing. I got the letter in the mail,
and you've been selected for an audience. No, we do not validate your parking.
Right? Fuck off.
2 drink minimum.
But yeah, man, doing that and then moving on, man, because a big part of like the comedy thing is it's a lot of give and take, not give and take, more like receive and give.
It's cyclical. Yeah.
Does it sound very sexual? Receive and then you gotta give. No, but what I meant like that is like, you're networking. You like, hey, I want to get a gig up there. Let me contact one of the guys. Like, hey, man, do you want to do a gig down here? It's
Yeah, well, like you said, man, I think we have come to a point where we do have to put on our own shows. So that's just the nature of the environment. And sometimes you're going to be the person paying people at the end of the night, and sometimes you're going to be the person getting paid.
Exactly.
So
you have to create that circle of networking. Dude, I saw a bunch of comics when I went up to San Antonio just to see the show. I wasn't even in the show, the Blind Tiger at the Magic Time Machine, or where the fuck it is.
I think that's the name of the joint.
Yeah. Like they told me about it. I was like, you know what? I ain't got a slot. Let me go check it out. And I saw a bunch of comics I've never seen, and they were hilarious. Well, not all of them. No, but yeah. And then like there's some pretty good fucking people, man. Yeah, and I was like, as the show was over, hey man, dude, hey, I'm a comic. Excuse me, I'm from the Rio Grande Valley. Really dig your stuff, man. Do you mind if I add you on Facebook? Start doing that network. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
That way, like, there's a fresh crowd of comics, that people have never seen before. It could be bad because, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. But like, hey, somebody different, And then, do a nice little fucking flyer. Like, hey, guys, come out, blah, blah, blah. Fuck the motherfuckers that lie to you straight to your face. And like, oh, yeah, dude, definitely I'll be there. Right? And they fucking don't show up in the next morning. Oh, sorry, last minute thing came up. Sorry, let me know about the other one. And then they never do actually come out. Fuck those motherfuckers. But, yeah, it's
the hatreds we develop, yes.
I have abandonment issues. It's not good.
I've learned new things about myself. Mainly the people I hate. That's...
But, yeah, man. I want to do that. Produce shows, do shows, go out of town, independently. Bring somebody with me this time. I'm not that plus one, like,
Right.
And but that's all part of the fucking, the plan, dude. That's all part of being a comic.
That's the trajectory.
That's your time that you got to put in, man. It's not just open mics. You got to build your own base.
Right.
You make your own connections. Like like we've gone up independently. Us as the crowd down here, we've gone up to Corpus, met the Corpus comics. You've gone up to San Antonio. We met some of the El Paso comics.
Yeah. Like I said, man, it's a matter of just building a network of people that not only you find like that present themselves as competent. You've seen them on stage. That they're funny, but also like putting it out there like, hey, are you communicating with people? Because I'm communicating with people. So,
we're alone out here.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be able to also kind of sharpen my networking skills. Like,
it's a whole nother set of muscles, man.
Social networking. Like, do the media, do videos, do fucking, like, little gifts, do all that stuff. Have the multi-level of entertainment. It's not just jokes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Do, like, little short clips. Fucking, I don't know. Do some shit. Do something different. Like, Blame the Comics got his whole Blame thing with the mama with the robe and shit. That thing already fucking became like a creature of its own. Blame, like, last time I saw Blame, he was so fucking tired. Like, dude, I've been fucking editing like all the way down here. I didn't even sleep. And you find branches of like what comedy is. You branch out of different things, like podcasts. This is another one of the branches, man. Podcasts. You got your YouTube channels. You got Vine's not around anymore, but you can still pull that shit off on Instagram.
Well, also Twitter's got Periscope, which still being utilized by a lot of people.
See, I didn't know what the fucking Periscope was until like you go live. What? What's live? And then Facebook's like, Facebook Live. I'm like, oh, you're in Facebook Live? No, I'm on Instagram. Now everybody, all social media is like, oh, we're different. But at the end of the day, they do the same fucking shit on the same platform. Yeah, granted, you might reach more people on one social media than
There's a conversation that keeps coming up. I think it's a matter of the different people that are attracted by the user interface. You're getting a slightly different crowd that are going there for slightly different reasons. But you can navigate those waters if you want, or you just find the one platform that like allows you to do what you want to do and do that. So,
like, I've been doing Instagram a little bit more than I do Facebook.
Yeah.
On Instagram, like, I'm legit have like 1,100 followers, 1,100 and something, and that's because I pull off the comedy thing. I do like little videos. I do memes,
right.
And then I do the vape thing also. Like, I do vape tricks or whatever the fuck, or I do like vape jokes. Like, there's a meme I did. It's like the job, the CEO or whatever. It's like, so what can you bring to the table? And then there's like the right under him, there's a vape guy throwing a giant cloud onto the table. You're hired. Like stupid things like that. And then I just put the hashtags. The hashtags help a lot, dude, because people are gonna be hashtagging, searching bullshit, And then like put like hashtag vape fail, or vape trick, vape stuff. Surprisingly, a lot of my vape stuff has vape model on it. Hashtag vape model. Nobody's called me out on it yet, so.
My hand model.
Yeah. And then the same thing with the comedy. You got your hashtag stand-up comedy, hashtag funny videos, hashtag this, hashtag that, hashtag the topic that's in the video,
Right.
And then that allows you, like, I get fucking random, like, health and fitness is now following you. I'm like, I'm not healthy or fitness, but I did a video of, like, bacon wrap, turkey bacon wrap chicken breast, and right. I put that in the hashtags, and then fucking fitness people following me. And, like, I threw a meme out of, like, people yanking on a cow, and then it says, my friend's taking me to the gym on Monday or something, and it's like, like,
right.
To yank it. And then I did a little goth thing where, like, all my clothes, like, back at home when I lived with my parents, we would dry the clothes out in the line, outside.
Right.
Like, air dry them. And then I did all my black clothes at the same time. So you just see the linen, it's like all fucking black clothes, like black shirts, like black undershirts, black fucking underwear, black socks, Yeah. And I see this flapping in the wind, and I'm like, this is fucking hilarious. So I took a couple steps back and snapped a picture, and then I made the meme. It's like when you accidentally wash your soul with your clothes.
Right. All right. At this point, if you could move anywhere to pursue comedy, where would you go, man?
I'm going to say Austin or California. But California, they already have their bracket or stencil for Hispanic comic. I see it a lot, like, just the fact that they say Mexicans from Texas are completely different from Mexicans from California. Okay. Not necessarily. We're basically the same. We all have the same train of thought, we just have our differences. We're not completely different, So right. Comics from Texas, I think a little bit more Mexican, or more authentic, than authentic to the Mexicans here in Texas, right? I see some of the comics come from California, and then they have this, I don't know, this like different flow to them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And like it's like, no, dude, and and like they're shaking, and they're more theater type of, they're really like, doing more physical comedy, and they throw one like Spanish word in it, like, and then the Mexican comics down here, like, it's more like, I'm gonna make you laugh at what I'm saying than what I'm doing. Am I getting through it? Or?
No, I think I get you, man. But what? Okay. So how do you think that would limit you trying to get into some marketplace like that?
Because they already have a stencil of what the Mexican comic or Hispanic comedy is. I might be different, so that might be my edge, but it could also be like, I don't. He's too Mex. He's too taco.
Right.
You got to tone down the taco. So get a wrap instead of a burrito. I don't know. It's well, Nick Guerra, right? Nick.
Yeah.
He's from McAllen.
Yeah.
And then he from what I heard, he had a different style from he was here, from the style of comedy he's doing now. It's more, he's always wearing suits, and it's like a fancy, like an actual show.
Okay.
Like you see Nick, and he's like, presentation is key. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I don't think I've seen him go on just like with like jeans and a shirt. Like, he was wearing a suit down here in the valley. He was sweating his ass off. But it's presentation,
I don't see where the hang up would be.
No. I mean, like, his style changed from location. Like, he adapted to the way over there, and he learned how to present himself. So I think that would be like a good thing for me. Like, I would go to California.
Oh, okay. I thought you were kind of throwing that out there as an impediment somehow.
I don't know big words. Impediment. I won't call you out every time you say a big word.
As a bad thing.
Okay. Then just say bad thing.
Like, impediment actually is impeding your progress.
Stopping my progress. Yes. No. It wouldn't stop my progress. It would actually give me time to learn the little bit more show business that is in comedy than actual just stand up. Because there's different types of comedy. Obviously, you got your road comics. You got your your 5 tight minutes for late night show comedy. You got your bar comic. You got your fucking roast comic. There's improv.
Right.
Like the dude that does I always forget. He does the voice for Sheen on what the fuck, the little cartoon genius guy, Jimmy Neutron.
Not familiar.
No, he does the voice for Sheen. He came out on Payaso's comedy thing with Alex Raimundo. That dude, like, literally, he walks out and he just sits on the stool and he just starts picking at the audience. Like, of course, granted, I'm pretty sure the majority of his stuff has like pre-written, and he has things that he plugs in. But I mean, he comes in like, "Hey, what's up, bro?" and this and that, and he starts picking at people. And that guy looks like a baby cholo, like you still see pink on the top of his head, his shaved head.
It's primarily crowd work.
Yeah, it's just all crowd work, improv stuff,
right.
Off the head. Like, I don't know. Like, another thing, I also want to do an all Spanish comedy.
Right. Have you had an opportunity to do any shows?
No, but I do want to. I want to have like at least 5 to 10 minutes of like pure Spanish.
Right.
Have that opportunity. Comedy Central just most recently, like a year or two ago, went to Mexico, and now they have Comedy Central Mexico, and they're handing out specials like crazy. And some of these fuckers I've never heard of, but they've been doing it for years, like doing the grungy underground stuff.
Right.
Unicornio Azul, the Blue Unicorn, is a really hot fucking comedy club in Monterrey, Mexico.
Right.
And the one that actually like brought it like to my attention is Franco Escamilla, which most recently he did a show in Las Vegas with Gabriel Iglesias. I don't know if you heard about that.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, Gabriel Iglesias went to Mexico prior to that, and he did an all Spanish set. I think it was like 10, 15 minutes of all Spanish. Right. He did it with Franco Escamilla, and then that went like super crazy all over the internet. And I was like, holy shit, they're crossing borders, and then it went off so well that they just recently did a show in Vegas where they kind of swapped languages. Franco Escamilla, the Mexican comic, did his set in all English. And you got Gabriel Iglesias, the Mexican-American comic, normally does his set in all English. He does it in Spanish. So they swapped it. I forgot what they were calling it, but apparently it's fucking hitting, and I hope they do a fucking tour.
Right.
You know, so somewhere close here, we'll go fucking check it out. It will fucking sell out. Franco Escamilla, he became famous off the internet. Like his little micro fucking sets or whatever.
Right.
Like they started floating around Facebook and they're fucking doing. All of a sudden you just see this fucker fucking fly off, dude. His fucking fan base is insane. He came to McAllen, Texas, and the front row tickets were like $100 something. Like I wanted to go with me and my girlfriend. I was like, let's front row. And it came out to like $260. I was like, damn.
Shit.
Yeah. And like the cheapest ones were like $40, but you were way the fuck in the back. You know what I mean?
Right on.
So I was like, fuck. You know what I mean? And this guy has like the majority of his tours are in Mexico. And then he just has like little micro where he comes to America. You know, where he's done Chicago, California, Texas here. I don't know if he did like North Texas, but he did South Texas. I think he might have done New Mexico. But every single show that he did in the United States sold out because there wasn't that many. So there was people driving fucking distances to see this guy. Now add that to the fucking following that Gabriel Iglesias has.
Yeah, man.
That's insane. People will fucking... I saw that as an opportunity. I've been thinking about it for a while to like do Spanish, like all Spanish. But you get to kind of have a self-realization when you start speaking pure Spanish as a Mexican American. You don't know Spanish. And that's what you think. There's a reason why it's Tex-Mex. You need that English to fill in that shitty Spanish. Like, it's not the other way around. You don't use that Spanish to fill in that shitty English.
That's one of your punchlines, man. The only place, take two languages, fuck them up,
both
up.
I haven't done that in a long fucking time. Yeah, the only place to take two languages, put it together, make it. I forgot my own punchline. Jesus Christ. The only place where you can take two languages, native tongue. Yeah, take two languages, fuck them up, and make them your native tongue.
Yeah.
But yeah, like.
Do you think it's the lack of just Spanish stand-up, or do you think maybe the guy's just so solid that he's actually built the fan base?
No, the guy's fucking solid.
I would imagine he'd have to be, man. But is that alone? I mean, is he actually building this fan base just of people that are going like, "This is the guy I want to hear"?
Mm-hmm. Oh, what do you mean? I'm sorry. I'm fucking.
All right, like
I'm a little baked right now.
Like, do you think it would matter if he was doing his set in English or Spanish?
No, this guy has built a fan base mainly off the internet, but like whether he's gonna be doing it in English or in Spanish, there's gonna be a shit ton of people there.
Right.
Yeah. So he has a really excellent following, and then thanks to that, I started kind of seeing some of the other comics, and then I that's when I found out that Comedy Central went to Mexico. They have a Comedy Central in Mexico now, and I started seeing there's Comedy Central Presents. I was like, what the fuck? Had no idea, because prior to that, the only comics that I knew about was Polo, Jorge Falcon, Teo Gonzalez, like old school, like Pepito type of,
guys that have been around for years.
Yeah, like back in the day, like, fucking like Mexican Rodney Dangerfields or,
Right.
And
there's no real platform like to like I don't think I've ever seen like a late night Spanish stand-up show or something like that. You know what I mean? Where like a showcase of stand-up.
That's why it was revolutionary when Comedy Central went over there, because you didn't get to see the transition between the old school comics and how it evolved to what it is now. You just like one day all you know is like Pepito jokes, and then next like boom, there's been this underground thing of like actual legit stand-up comics. Granted, because there's like a random like, let's say, like a gold rush of this. It's like holy shit, that sudden appearance of this like comedy, the Mexican comedy that's been, people are just rushing to give these fuckers like specials and like see how this guy is, and
right.
Some of them are not up to par.
You're probably getting a few names that are just getting put up there. Yeah.
Some of them are fucking amazing. Like there's Carlos Vallarta. This motherfucker actually has a Netflix special, not a Comedy Central. He has a Netflix special,
right.
And he's hilarious. Like, just his delivery, he's like a tall dude, like long, flat black hair and like giant round glasses. He just looks funny.
Right.
Like,
I think you were showing me that one on one of the road trips we were on.
Yeah.
Just kind of watching it off the phone and whatnot. But.
Yeah. His delivery, he just looks weird. That he's so educated. You know, he's just so educated. He's like throws like legit Spanish at you, like Spaniard, like Spaniard Spanish. And he starts throwing like, and like the use of like the legit actual Spanish, like that makes you laugh on its own. It's like, holy shit, this guy knows his shit. And he has this silver tongue for like a delivery, and it's just insane. And the way he ties things on, like I was like, holy shit, it's kind of like George Carlin, like the way he does his thing, and like he does this giant like, why does this happen in life? And then he compares it to like, it's like if this can happen, then tell me why my mouth burns if I specifically told the corn guy, I looked him in the eye. We made a physical and emotional connection that I didn't want, spiciness and this fucking like corn. That's one of his like like best fucking jokes. It's like, we made an emotional agreement. I trusted you not to put fucking chile on my fucking corn. Like, it's like, this is why life, and like he ties it all together so beautifully, and like it's fucking. I mean, his opening bit. Oh, by the way, he comes on stage with like a string quartet. That was his intro music. You see this like, he has this weird black and white striped shirt, kind of like fucking Beetlejuice type of thing going on. He has this long, flat black hair, big fucking glasses, and he's like, he starts off and says like, I tried to kill myself yesterday, commit suicide. I jumped into the rails of the incoming train. The train never got there, and by the end of it, I kind of just made a condolences with myself. It was like, what, my life's not bad. These people have to still wait for this train. Like, and there's a bit where he compares Venezuela, like the iPhone 4 of.
Okay, now you're just doing the man's material, man.
No, it's just like he's doing like, this is I don't mean to like actually do his thing, but like the beauty in his description,
ways using the language,
dude.
Yeah, I don't think it can be argued, man, that like the English language has been influenced by the last 100 years of stand-up comedy, man. But yeah, man, they're definitely what was introduced as Mexican comedy when at least we were like younger was a very different animal.
Mm-hmm. It was very playful. It was childlike.
Yeah.
Like you get the Chavo del Ocho, the Cantinflas, the Tintan, the little slick talkers,
Yeah, which is really weird, man, because what you think of, like, take, like, the original American comedy, the whole, again, Rodney Dangerfield, like, originally, you know what I mean, when he, younger guy, or, like, George Carlin, when he first started, it was guys in suits kind of trying to be serious about, like, oh, my wife, it's very weird, man. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I never thought Lenny Bruce was funny.
But he gave his life so we can say fuck on stage. So,
man, that was like 10 years before he died, man.
No, I know, but those 10 years was him trying to pay off his fucking his court payments,
right?
Because of the trial.
Yeah, may we never say anything on stage that gets us in that much trouble.
Oh, I don't think to that extent of actually getting arrested.
No, it never would happen. Well, at least not in this country,
Exactly, right? We might get our shit kicked out of us, say the wrong thing, and then like defend the 6'2" fucking white guy. And like,
aside from those two drunks that tried to walk on stage in New Mexico, have you ever actually felt threatened on stage?
No. That was a first for me. Oh, actually, no. That was the first time that I was like, holy shit. I was like, they broke my fourth wall. It's like, no. Like, what are you doing? Stay away from me.
Yeah, there's no preamble, was there?
I'm doing my bit. People are laughing. I had the crowd going. It was badass fucking flow of energy. It was just bouncing off the walls. and these two giant white guys walked on stage, and they're like, "All right, cut this crap off." I was like, "Oh my god!" It's like, "Put the music on. It's this guy's birthday," and I was like, "Can they do that?" I mean, I was like, "What's going on?" Like, who are these guys? And I was like, "Oh, it's this guy's birthday." I'm like, "Who's it?" And they pointed at this guy. I'm like, "How old are you?" I'm like, 40. He's 40. I'm like, "I'm sorry to hear that." So I kept I kept the comedy going, but inside I was fucking shitting bricks. And then it was like, "Oh, put the music on." I'm like, "Oh, we'll do it afterwards at the after party, Get the music going. We'll make them dance around this big ass pole." And there's a giant pole in front of the stage. And I was like, "That thing's, the heavy dude enough to hold him up." It was a large set man. The crowd laughed. So they were up there for a good minute. I think comics, please be a little bit more faster responding if your buddy's on stage and he's sending out a visible SOS. So they were up there for like a minute or two, and then that's when you guys came in and hey, get the fuck off stage. And but yeah, the first thought that came to my head is like, oh my god, I'm gonna die,
Yeah, because they always kill the comedian.
Yeah, no, I was going for the Mexican. I was scared. Two white guys. The only thing that popped in my head is one less Mexican. This is where it ends. But being able to joke through that situation, had the crowd in my fucking hand. You know what I mean? Being able to roll with the punches. That's fucking beautiful. I think that was. I felt myself grow as a comic going through that. That's an experience that we all have to deal with. There's no chicken wire between us and the fucking audience. This is gonna happen. You better be prepared.
If somebody really wants to get on the stage, they can.
Yeah, there's literally nothing stopping.
Just some flying leap WWE style into the arena.
Right, shit can come flying at you at any moment. Be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah. Feel free to Google a comedian being hit by a bottle, cup, whatever.
Oh, what's his name? He was on the Blue Collar Comedy Tour for a while. Not the original ones.
I know who you're talking about, but caught a cocktail glass.
Yeah,
to the face.
Oh, I wanted. He gets fucking chick in the front. He does a Donald Trump joke, and chick in the front gets all mad, throws a drink at him, and he picks up the stool like he was gonna throw that son of a bitch. I was like, do it, As a human being, it's he kept his, he kept his cool. He didn't do anything. But as a comic, I was like, you should have thrown that fucking stool. Jesus.
Oh man, yeah.
What would you done in that situation?
Glass comes flying at me.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's I mean, you can make up some little fantasy in your head or tragedy, but at the end of the day, man, I don't think until it actually happens. There's going to be some muscle reflex going into that situation, man.
You had to be quick. He was fucking quick when he stopped himself because he had that stool in the air. He was he stopped himself. He was like, oh, put it down. Put it down.
Yeah, man. Yeah, people have lost eyes from flying bottles coming at their face, man. I don't know if comedians have. That's a good question. There's always that one video where that guy was playing the guitar trying to sing some funny song and the lady goes off and he ends up beating somebody with the guitar.
I have not seen that one.
I think that guy got arrested. That's another one you can find on YouTube. That's how I want to end every show. I don't play the guitar, but I brought this just for you.
One of the sounds that is forever imprinted on my mind is we were at a club and it was a hip hop club and they had bottle service. And we're around the dance floor. They had this giant horseshoe, you can like a bar top, and you can put your bars in the dance floor, right there. So we're just chilling there having beers. All of a sudden, I turn to the dance floor. I just see this Buchanan's bottle flying in the fucking air. And I'm just slow motion, and I don't know if he was aiming at somebody or did he hit his target. I don't know, but all I hear is clunk, fucking bottle to head, like that.
It's a distinct sound.
Oh, that's in there. That they were testing me like that. What's this sound? That's Buchanan bottle hitting a grown ass man's head. That's what that is.
Oh man, the things you see in public, just parts of the human experience, man.
Oh, dude, I saw this video earlier today. By the way, amigos y amigas, guys, I've seen such tragedy on the internet with videos people share just for the laughs, but it's getting serious. There's too many after-hour fights at taquerias. It's getting out of hand, guys. This is business for some people. That is their business, and you guys are fucking doing bar fights at a taqueria. This is crazy. I don't know if you've seen the video, but I think it was in Dallas. I read somewhere down in the comment section. But two chicks are getting in a fight with some chick that's with it's two chicks and a guy, right? One lone guy, and those two chicks are getting in a fight with a chick with like six guys.
Right.
So obviously, like the chicks are fucking going at it, and the single guy is just like trying to separate them, and then you see these like six guys like bunch up to him. And like make this giant fucking fight in the taqueria and like tables, and they literally start grabbing chairs like snowballs and just start tossing them at each other, and like, oh dude, it gets brutal. And like big props to the guy that was the one that was by himself. He fucking held these motherfuckers off, beat the crap out of some of them, and like just chased them out of the fucking taqueria by himself. Dude, I was like, holy shit, this guy's like probably like shorter than me. He's like a little bit like low fucking buff, man.
Right.
And you just see him like trying to like fucking take care of these chicks, these girls like fucking brought him into this fucking chaos, and like you see these fuckers and like holy shit, these guys are like fucking linked up with something, they're not on the good kind of side of the law,
This isn't a social gathering. Okay.
Exactly. So like you see, and the fucking he gets the chick separated, and now the guys are going after him, and there's chairs flinging all over the place, and then like on the side of the fucking video, you see that one of the chicks from the original fight come up, goes out the front door, goes around the building, and catches the girl on the other side, the other exit, and then you just see the guy like fucking beat the crap out of the dudes, and like. The girl walking around the business to fight again with that one chick from the initial fight.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, and then you just see that guy just fed off like six dudes, and you just see him like reach out and grab the shit out of her and pull her inside the taqueria. Like, are you fucking shitting me? Like, you don't see me like getting the fucking crap beat out of. And like you kept going and enticing that fucking, oh my god, dude, it was just so bad. By props, there's a guy in the back of the video still eating his tacos, like unbothered by the fight. That's a beautiful fucking video.
Occasionally ducking chairs.
Yeah. There's a funny scene though, because they spill, I don't know what the fuck they spill. I think they spill like a drink or some tacos or something, and like the floor gets really slippery. So, like, you just see the two cholos, like, fucking, like, slip. Like, trying to be super hardcore, right? And they do, like, one of the banana slips. Oh, dude, that was fucking hilarious.
Okay. And there's a whole rash of just videos of just after-hour fights going on.
Yeah, that one was from Dallas. And there's various ones from, I think it's an Último Taco in Brownsville, Texas. Yeah. Like, fucking fights. There's even some that are like dubbed with WWE voices. He's got the chair, like.
Of course there are.
Oh my god, it was fucking beautiful. And I was like, behave, people. Like, you gotta learn how to behave in public, man.
We can't have nice things.
Yeah, this is why we can't have nice things. I think that's why they because before. Brownsville is about an hour and some change away from here, Yeah. And we used to go late at night. Fucking, we would take the monthly pilgrimage because they have different types of tacos over there. Just an hour away, it's a completely different type of taco. And we're stoners and we're fat, so fuck it, right? And we'd drive over there, but we would get there like 5, 6 in the morning. These places were open like 12 hours a day,
right?
And then all of a sudden, like, we go this one time and it's closed. They close at 4. Then I was like, okay, so let's go to this other taco place. Same thing. This other taco place, same thing. I was like, I guess it's weird. Like, I would understand if like one place would like adapt to the time. Like, you know what? We don't have any customers from this time to this time, so we're gonna close. But all of them will close at the same time. So that was a regulation that the city put in. Yeah. Like, it's like, I don't know if it was like a health thing. It's like, you guys are getting too fat. We're going to cut off tacos from 4 o'clock in the morning.
We're like, we're tired of cleaning up these fist fights.
Yeah. It was weird because it would open up like at 6 or 7 for breakfast.
Right. Much calmer crowd at that point.
Oh yeah, it's the older crowd. You got walkers thrown around instead of fucking chairs.
Oh man, I swear when you go into those breakfast joints, like little mom and pop places, and it's just all the
locals.
Like nobody ever moves from the table. Like you never see them move the entire time you're in there. Oh man. Well, I think we've hit the end here, man.
Yeah.
Are there any like little side projects you'd want to work on?
I wanna get the like a little mini series video thing on YouTube going. Tomorrow I'm gonna be at the Simon. I don't know when you're gonna air this.
Mm-hmm. Probably not until Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay. I'm gonna be at the Reserve in Edinburgh, Texas on the 19th, and then I got a show for the 28th, but I think it's gonna be canceled. But yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna be performing with Eric the Lizard Man.
Right.
The reptilian the human reptile. It's gonna be badass. And I think I got some shows. Oh, November I'm gonna be in Laredo as Fabulosa. They finally got me out there.
Oh, we didn't even get to Fabulosa.
No, we did not.
It's walking away from the microphone. Where are you going, Rudy? No.
I'm done. Mic drop. Do you want to talk about Fabulosa?
I don't know. Do you have thoughts? Do you have feelings you want to share?
I love her, but I hate her at the same time.
You little Frankenstein monster.
Yeah, I created a monster, man. Fabulosa is fucking hilarious. I love doing the character, but I don't want to get stuck as the character.
Do you feel that there's a genuine risk of that?
It's like a Dr. Tagle, Mrs. Fabulosa type of thing to it, and like it flows out so naturally that I'm scared. I'm scared. I wonder sometimes. I love it because it opens up a different side of the.
Is it something you actually enjoyed doing?
Yeah, until I get off stage, I'm like, God damn it, what happened? I was like,
nobody record this.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's some people out there with like little fucking.
Always possible.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know why my voice is cracking. I'm finally going through puberty.
One of those videos is gonna come back one of these days. Like, look at this comedian with a mop on his head.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's going to come back and bite me. Somebody's going to do like a deep Instagram dive. And like, what does it say? It's like me, like 15 years from now, movie star. That's that one, right?
Move to San Francisco, join the alt scene, start pushing for trans rights, and all of a sudden that stuff comes out.
Yeah. I love it, man, but they keep sticking me on all-female comedy shows. And I feel bad because, like, of course, dude, fucking all-female comics, dude, there's some out there fucking are monsters on stage. Like, they fucking kill. They're hilarious. And I kind of feel bad, like, it's supposed to be an all-female comedy show, and I feel kind of like I'm disrespecting them by doing Fabulosa, you know?
I get you, man. It's, unfortunately, I think a couple of those times it was just they didn't have enough heads to fill the slot.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's the main reason why I don't like. I love the character, but I also feel like I'm disrespecting the actual female comics. Now, this time they contacted me, and they're like, "Hey, weird request. How much is it to get Fabulosa out here?" And I was like, "What the fuck? You guys want Fabulosa for a show?" I'm like, "Yeah, like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes." Right. I was like, "Oh shit," I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be an all-female show in November," and I was like, all-female show, like, I love working with them. I feel like I feel bad sometimes, And like some of them come up to me and they're really nice, like, "Dude, that was hilarious," But I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. It's like
that's a tricky one, right?
I also see it like putting on a yarmulke and doing Jewish jokes. Like,
tell me again about that Jewish hip hop album you wanted to release.
Dreidel to the grave. Dreidel. I made you out of crack. Dreidel. I watched that money stack. Straight lumbre. Straight fire. Shalom, motherfuckers.
Oh, man. Okay. Yeah.
Have you done any characters or anything like that? Or
no, not
voices?
Really, man. I guess I've done like little character type of bits in certain jokes, but it's nothing specific.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably gonna have to work on that. Characters, that's where it's at.
Yeah. Like Mike Rayo was telling me. Mike Rayo, comic from New York, but he's out in Houston. Let me explain to them, not for you.
Yeah, I get it.
It's like I'm speaking to invisible people. A comic, Mike Rayo out of Houston. He told me that he was on a show. He was a voiceover for a kids show. It was some mouses or some type of little pet thing, and he was telling me that he's Italian, so he tried out for the Italian mouse, and it was too authentic. And they're like, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, it's not the Italian we're looking for." I was like, "But it's an Italian mouse." It's like, "No."
We'd like a caricature of your people.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah. They ended up going with this random guy. Like, he's not even Italian, but he does the "Hey, buy the pizza, buy the pizza, buy the," you know, like that type of.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "You know what? Fuck it." So he did a Scottish. I think it was a mouse, or I don't know what the fuck it was. But he does the voices like this, and I don't know how the fuck you do a Scottish accent, but he does it like super, like stereotypical. And
right.
He got the job for that. And he was a Scottish mouse for like 3 years.
So you're telling me as long as they're paying, you're going to keep doing Fabulosa?
Yeah. It's weird. Like, I don't write material for Fabulosa. It's just like I put the wig on and I let the character be the fucking character. You know what I mean?
It's improv.
Yeah. Not really. There's some shit that it comes out so fluidly. The Fabulosa, that's I think that's the kind of like not disappointment. It's
disappointment.
Not like I'm kind of pissed at myself because that character comes out more fluid than my actual stand-up. And it's like, I'm doing it with that one. Why can't I do it with my regular set? You know? So I start questioning my actual material. I'm like, is this really me? Am I playing to a crowd? Like,
right. Oh, the hours spent second guessing your own material, man.
The months, the years.
I am my own worst heckler.
But I love doing the character, man. It's just get to be fun. Fucking just the fact that a guy on a wig, mop head is on stage, and then my body's so fucking weird. I got like this 9 months old belly, fucking baby's about to pop out and shit. So I just like this fat, overweight, hairy lady, Mexican lady, fucking just bitching about shit, and it comes out so fluid. Did my voice just get deeper?
I don't know.
My testosterone's trying to make up. Apparently does.
He's talking about the wig again.
I really like her. It's just because I go to the extremes. Some of the jokes I did, all the English, and some of them were just like a fucking full-on Spanish, 2-3 minute fucking jokes and shit. Just boom, 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 fucking feeding them out like crazy. People were loving it. Fucking people all in the back. I just saw somebody just like fucking moving around, laughing and shit.
Right.
I was like, the fluidity of this shit is going like crazy. Like, it didn't matter if I was like translating the Spanish. People were fucking getting it. Some white girl came up to me afterward, and she's like, I don't know what the fuck you said, but it sounded funny.
I'll take it.
Yeah, it's like, you laughed? Yeah, okay, we're good. Like, but did you come? Right. And people were coming up to me like, oh my god, you're hilarious. I loved it. And actually, some of the female comics they came up to me like, what the fuck was that? I was like, that's Fabulosa. That shit was hilarious. I was like, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And I was kind of pissed because they don't say that about my regular set.
I was going to say, you've done at least 1 or 2 shows where you've done your set and then done a second set in character, right?
No.
Oh, you haven't?
Both times. Actually, no. I think the first time, no. Both times was all Fabulosa. Originally, the second show, well, actually, both of them were going to be like, the first one I did was a mix of Fabulosa, and then I was able to adapt my actual jokes to Fabulosa.
Okay.
But I kept the fucking mop on the entire time. And then the second time, originally it was supposed to be 5 minutes Fabulosa, 5 minutes my regular material.
Right.
But the character just felt so like it took off by itself, man. I did like 10 minutes of pure Fabulosa. And then I thought about this stupid little fucking poem or thing I did. I was wearing a shirt with a little kitty on it, and this is the portion. I did a little fucking Spanish poem. It's like, un chinito me regaló un gatito, no tenía dinero, solo le mamé el pito. Basically, it's a Chinese man gave me a little kitten. I didn't have money, so I sucked his dick. And that was my closure, and it went amazing. I'm not being sarcastic. The people were fucking laughing their ass off.
No, I bet, man.
And it was cool, man. That's when I figured out that it's kind of like the theater has there's an element to theater, to comedy,
right,
about, you know, the way you project your stuff. You project your voice. You don't rely on the microphone. I did acting for a year and in college, and that's what helped me out with my projection. Like, projection was one of the easiest steps I did with comedy. There's one thing to shout, the other to project, and that's one thing they drilled into me at the acting classes. So the projection I had down. Delivery took a little bit more time to adapt from actual, like, monologues and, like, you know,
right,
actual theater stuff.
Different rhythm,
but stage presence and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I was used to that, you know. So that kind of helped me out in the long run. And so I started, you know, I was like, once that kind of clicked in my head, I was like, oh, you know what? I started, like, bringing back all the shit I learned from theater. It's like facial expressions. Ooh, you know, fucking, you know, sour lemon, fucking angry lion, you know, like the facial expressions, the full emotion. And because you got to make that last motherfucker in the back, you know, be able to see the same expression that the motherfucker in the front is seeing.
Right.
Like over. You
have to actually let the face feel the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Exactly. You feel sad, like, you know, fucking, you know, like drastically do sad, you know. You drop the sides of your mouth and, like, pout your lips and, like, you know.
Yeah,
like, why is he doing this? Oh my God, you know.
Show don't tell.
Yeah, and they don't get the fucking joke. They're laughing at your stupid face, you know, like.
Yeah. Layers upon layers, man.
Oh yeah, that's also a good way to look skinny on stage. Black and layers.
Horizontal stripes, vertical stripes, never horizontal.
Looking like the goddamn hamburglar.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and wrap it up, man. I think we're at
how much time?
Yeah.
How much time are we?
2:30.
Oh shit.
You want to give out your social media, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Rudy Barba. You guys can follow me on at Instagram at Rudy Barba Comedy, Facebook, same thing, Twitter, YouTube, and Snapchat. Everything, all my social media is under at Rudy Barba Comedy. That's RUDYBARBA and comedy at the end. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for having me on your show, Sean.
Thanks for bringing me into your apartment and letting me do this.
No problem. We've been here for a while. You got to pay rent now.
Shit. Later,
guys.
Rudy Barba, folks. Again, you can find Rudy online at Rudy Barba Comedy on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. He's probably still on MySpace. I don't know. You're going to have to go check. You can find more episodes of the podcast at shoutengine.com/mad laughter. And you can find my info at Facebook and Twitter.com/Hatfield Standup. That's all. That is it. That is the end, my friends. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you have a good week. Peace.